Hey Leo, welcome back to my channel. This is your May 2019 Intuitive Psychic Tarot reading. I'm going to just get right into the reading and tell you what I was picking up from Spirit. I did take notes, so I'll be looking down. Okay. I heard that you were going to be opening up communication and removing blocks. Um, you know, this message could be to a specific group of Leos, but it's, to me, it feels like something in business, something related to some sort of business venture or something outside of romance is what this feels to me. Some of you may be removing blocks from romantic partner, but this is feeling like more business oriented to me. And then I saw like this lion, just walking that proud lion walk, this Leo holding their head up high, just walking that proud walk. And then I heard that song from Lady Gaga, I Live for the Applause. And I wanted to know what they meant by that because, Leos, they do like attention, but it didn't feel like this was something vain. It felt like accepting this applause, accepting praise, because praise is due. And so this is something that you've worked hard for. And I feel like people are giving you praise where praise is due. And so you're feeling proud about that. Your head is held high. Like, I feel like there's just this real sense of feeling yourself this month, for a good reason, but you worked for it. So I'm going to shuffle the cards and see what else I get for you, Leo, okay? All right. Leo, May 2019. I just saw the Nine of Pentacles shuffle in this and it stood out to me. So I feel like this is a project that you worked pretty independently on. Whatever this is, you've put a lot of work in on this alone. I mean, not saying that nobody else was involved, but I feel like your end of it was done methodically, is what I hear. Methodically and carefully. Leo, May 2019. There's the Nine of Pentacles that I saw. There it is. All right. Okay, Leo. Yeah, you definitely worked methodically on something. Something in the past ended, like an old cycle. Something that didn't have a real strong structure. Needed to be rebuilt. And in order to rebuild this, you needed to get time away from people. Like, you needed to stand your ground in this. For sure, with the Seven of Wands, like telling people, I know what I'm doing. If you leave me to my own devices, I can prove this to you. And you insisted on this, especially coming in with the Knight of Swords. This is that swift movement with that information, like, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I saw this fall apart, but blocking people out and standing your ground was necessary. A lot of people will look at this as negative energy, but you needed to do so. You needed to do that. And, this could have taken place around August or September of 2018, and you're just now seeing the results of this. Or there could be a Libra involved somehow. But regardless, you were committed to this. You were definitely committed to this, whatever it is. and justice was served. You found that balance, and because of that, there's forward movement in communication. There could be travel involved with this as well, like business travel. But the Nine of Pentacles is here. This is that independent thinking. This is that leaving you to your own devices in order to execute this plan, this idea, this thing that you came rushing in with, this, and this is something that, I mean, this was spontaneous. You were like, I got it, like an epiphany, like, I got it, I know what to do exactly. This fell apart because this wasn't built well, but I'm going to reconstruct it and stay committed to it. This is something you were definitely committed to, and you reconstructed it, and you had to hold people at bay, keep them away from you in order to get it done. But once it was done, it was like, now it's like people are giving praise where praise is due, because it wasn't easy to get to this place where you're at right now, and you really had to fight against opposition in order to get here. But you stood your ground. You stood your ground like the Leo does. You stood your ground like the brave lion, like with confidence, knowing that, it's kind of like you tell people, I can't tell you how I know, I just know. I know that I know that I know that this idea, this plan, this way of executing this is the best way. And you had to prove that, but you did. And so it kind of like, I don't want to say shut people down, but it made them take a step back with the sense of being impressed, So I'm going to clarify the Seven of Wands. Yep. Yeah. Okay. I feel like the Seven of Wands, like whatever this took place right here, okay, with the World in reverse, the Tower, and then the Two of Swords, with that blocked off energy. I feel like this happened, this structure fell because there was information hidden from you. The information that was hidden from you was hidden from you on purpose, and you knew that. And then so when this stuff came to light, when this stuff came to a head, you left that alone. You're like, okay, this is definitely built on a faulty structure. And I feel like, you put a lot of thought into that, and it was painful. This wasn't an easy crumbling. This thing that came down, this thing that fell, it wasn't easy for that to happen, but it needed to happen. I think you were probably, well, I don't want to say you were directly involved in the fall of it happening, but you were definitely the result in the rebuilding of it, and you put work into that. And so walking away from it didn't feel good, but it was also what gave you the strength to come in and do things on your own. But you not losing hope, you not giving up, you still staying energized with a vision, being optimistic. You were committed. You saw the right thing to do. You knew that justice needed to be served. You came and you served that. You served that justice. And now there's forward movement. Now there's that communication. Now there's opening. You see here, you blocked it off right here, and it says that opening up communication and removing blocks. That was the first message I got, you see. And here's the blocks. These have been removed, and here's the communication. You see, opening up communication, removing the blocks. It's exactly what I said right in the beginning that I was told. So that's interesting. Let me see what else we get. Queen of Pentacles. Whoa. Hold on. Sorry. That's too much. I'm going to take it. Okay. Nine of Swords, Five of Pentacles, the Hermit. Yeah. This happened, like, the Queen of Pentacles was needing to feel stability, okay? Because the Nine of Pentacles is somebody who does the work on their own. This is somebody who does things independently. But that's because you had to block this off. This was that tower, that crumble, whatever came down. You had to block it out because it was just built falsely. And this is something that you stayed up at night thinking about. you definitely stayed up thinking about it, because there was this like lack of I want to say appreciation, lack of abundance. uh there was no stability here. Okay, and so this is what was concerning you. How do I gain this stability? What is it that I need to do? How can I feel comfortable in this? And so what you needed to do was go within. But in order to do that, you needed to block people out, cut off communication, defend yourself. I feel like, you really had to stand your ground and defend yourself, you know? And this knight is a warrior. This knight will come in. They have enough energy to do so because they're not a teenager, but they're a young adult. This is a young adult that's coming in with a lot of energy, and they're ready to swing the sword if need be. And so I really feel like this was what you were coming in with. Like, okay, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. Don't get in my way. Do not get in my way. And you standing your ground like I mean it. This is bullshit. I'm going to turn all this around. You'll see. But you had to block off communication in order to go within and think. You really had to go within. This is meditating and blocking people out. The swords are being held up because there's a decision that needs to be made about this tower that fell, about this faulty foundation. What made this crumble? And the only way you could figure that out was to take that time alone. But you did. And because you did, people are seeing the results. And I feel like people didn't like your approach of blocking people out in order to figure things out. People didn't like your approach. They couldn't understand it. They couldn't see it from your perspective. You had a vision, and you knew how to execute that vision. And nobody could understand the vision that you had. And so you could see the end result. You could see the light at the end of the tunnel. So you had to block that out, And once you remove the blocks and you're opening up, then they can see, oh, now I see what you were talking about. You were right. Flow. This is the past. You see? The world. Flow. And you look at flow in reverse. That's a 10. That's the ending of something. And it's in reverse. Just like the tower. Just like the world card. And if you look here, it looks like, you got that wheel of fortune around the back of him, and this is in reverse. This wasn't flowing. The energy wasn't good. This wasn't working. The way that this was built before, it was not working. And so it couldn't flow freely. So the tower had to come down. Seek. Why is everything in reverse? My deck upside down? Yeah, see? Okay. This is seek. Seek is like going within and looking for the answers. And I see this in reverse. So to me, the best way that I can explain this in reverse in regards to this situation is, when you're seeking out the answers, you're looking to spirit to seek them out, in regards to this card. But it was in reverse. So it could be something like you either you relied on yourself and yourself only. You didn't go outside of yourself to seek this help. And when you did get it, it was like, let me tune into this and see what I can hear from it. Okay, so the Nine of Swords, traditionally in the tarot deck, is like staying up at night with anxieties. And the green always reminds me of being grounded. And when it's in reverse, I feel like the anxieties fall away, but the green is still there. And so, I think this again, along with that approach, was you were still stable after the anxiety, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to clarify that some more. I want to see what this Seek is about. I never usually do this with the tarot. What is this Seek referring to? Yep, the World. Again, that karmic cycle. Four of Pentacles. Keeping your cards close to your chest. The Devil. These are just like these unhealthy attachments. Needing to release the unhealthy attachments. Now that makes sense. Needing to release these unhealthy attachments. The World. Seeking, you know, the World over here is in reverse. The World here is upright. So this is after the meditation. You know, in reverse, you've gotten the answer now. Now you've gotten the answer. And that makes sense underneath the Knight of Swords. This is that epiphany. You know, this is how it's coming in for me. That's not usually the meaning of this card, but that's how it's coming through. I guess this was the best possible choice for this position and how it needed to come out. So that makes sense now, clarifying it with the tarot. So I'm glad I pulled those. All right. One more for you, Leo. And I want to say this didn't come easy. I keep hearing that. Like, this did not come easy, but you just worked methodically on it. All right, Leo. Here we go. Finding balance. And how ironic for it to land right on justice. The card of the scales, the card of balance, the card of Libra, you know, finding that balance. It's like the yin and the yang, you know, you found it. And so there's definitely forward movement this month for you, Leo. And you do deserve the praise for the work that you have put in. All right, so congrats, Leo. Looks good for you.